Yah sarvajna sarvavid yasya jnanamayam tapaha tasmadetad brahmanama rupamannam cha jayate. Yah sarvajna sarvavid yasya jnanamayam tapaha tasmadetad brahmanama rupamannam cha jayate. From him, Brahman, who is omniscient, Sarvajna, Sarvavit. It's an idiomatic construction. Sarvajna, Sarvavit. Omniscient, all-knowing, whose tapas is all knowledge. Jnanamayam. So here in the previous mantra, he said that out of tapas, the world has been born. In this mantra, he is describing what is the nature of that tapas. What is the nature? And the nature is that tapas is all-knowing, jnanamayam. And from that emanates this Brahma. Tasmat, from him, etat, this Brahma, the creator, Nama Rupa, names and forms, and Annam, the food. Jayate, emanates. Is all their language. God knows what they mean. I only have to have a good sound interpreter to understand what it is. So as I've said, it's an idiomatic construction. Sarvajna, Sarvavid. Now, what he's saying here is the nature of Brahman, the nature of the tapas is Brahman is all knowledge. As just we said, Vijayji, that pure consciousness is responsible for everything that you experience. So all the knowledges we have is, you have knowledge of. You have knowledge of chemistry, knowledge of physics, knowledge of accountancy, knowledge of Vedanta. All this knowledge of. How can you have knowledge of? You have knowledge of. Knowledge of is, now again, I'm repeating, but so that you get it clearly. All the knowledges, all the knowledges is knowledge of something. All that you have knowledge of the various subjects, that knowledge of is known as it is conditioned consciousness, which I'm calling in short is CC. Now, all of this is possible because of PC, which is the pure consciousness. So what he's saying, the pure consciousness supports all conditioned consciousness. That's what he's saying. So you can't know anything without the pure consciousness. So every aspect of creation is supported by the pure consciousness. Whatever that you experience is because of Brahman, he's saying. Everything is Brahman. Now, and then what happens? From that Brahman's tapas, what emanates, what emerges? Three things. Brahma is the creator. Nama Rupa. What does Nama Rupa mean? Nama Rupa means names and forms. Now, names and forms refers to that which is constantly changing. So when you talk of change, what are we talking about? Nama Rupa means change. Change means there is things that are perishing. When you talk of perishing, you're talking of the phenomenon of destruction, which is symbolized by Shiva. So Brahma is the creator, Nama Rupa, which means it is the destroyer, which is Shiva. Food is sustenance, which is Vishnu. So from Brahman arises Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, which is, what is Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara? Haresh, are you there, Haresh? From, I hope you have been following. From Brahman arises. Yes, Haresh. So from Brahman arises Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. You got that, Haresh?
Yes.
Well, so what is Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara?
It is a creator, destroyer, and
Creator, sustainer, and destroyer. Right.
creator, sustainer, destroyer.
Vishnu is the sustenance. In fact, sustenance happens only when there is Brahma and Shiva working properly. There has to be creation and destruction that creates sustenance. The world is maintained because of this cycle of destruction, and creation is constantly going on. There is death on one side, there's birth on one side. Without death, there cannot be birth. Or you may say, oh my God, earthquake in Turkey, so many people destroyed. That is because Shivaratri coming, he is manifesting his power a little more. That's all. Don't complain. It is part and parcel of creation. Destruction is inevitable. Without destruction, there cannot be creation. And this forces of destruction creation sustains the world. So, Haresh, in simple terms, these three, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Maheshwara, what are they? Are they not the manifested forces in the world that you and I see day in and day out?
Yeah.
So to give a figure to expression of Brahman, they planted three gods. That's all. And others are making too much drama about it. Some make more drama, some people make no drama, some people make less drama. Drama about one of the powers of creation. And the whole world is dancing. What tamasha going on? What Shiva, what Ratri? Once you take the highest standpoint, it has no meaning. Lord Shiva itself is a symbol of the power of destruction. Lord Brahma is just a symbol of power of creation. Lord Vishnu is symbol of power of maintenance. They have given identities for the powers which are manifesting in the manifested world. And the world is born because of the tapas of Brahman. Tapasa chiyate Brahma. See, when you look at it from an intellectual and a philosophical perspective, it just, all that unnecessary excitement settles on. What is it? It's just an idea, man. Why are you creating such a euphoria out of an idea? So from Brahman's tapas, what is born? Okay, before I go ahead, yes, SR. You okay, Harish? You're following?
Yes. Yes.
Guruji, like we're talking about whole world is in a totally different tangent than what we are learning here. When we say the basic philosophy behind, we're talking about Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Where, Guruji,
Yeah.
where is this wrong thoughts have been implemented in the whole world? I can see the 99.99% of the people move in a different world, a created world, which is fascinating and creating an entertainment. A Mahashivratri is an entertainment day where you say Gana Bajana and do what not need to be done. Celebrities comes there, which is absolutely no meaning and no relevant at all. But where is the root cause for when the Sanatana Dharma is so strongly preaching and it has been embedded into the minds of the people for ages together? How these wrong thoughts have been taken away and hijacked the basic principles in the philosophy?
Apt question. No, I'm not being cynical. I'm not saying anything with a hidden agenda. But the reason why humanity finds itself in its state too far away from the true tenets of Sanatana Dharma is the deterioration of the human intellect. Point one. When you look at humanity at large, the intellect has deteriorated to a very, very low level. So spiritual quotient of the masses is very, very low. Second, the custodians of religion are just giving into the masses. The job of the custodians of the spiritual gurus is to uplift them from where they are and bring them up to the higher truths. So what, instead of uplifting humanity from where they are, what they're doing, they're objectifying religion. So a true guru should ideally bring home the point to a seeker that Lord Shiva is just a symbol of that manifesting power in the world. That is how all this is originated, because as they say, all this is just expression of everything they've given a name and a form. No? Everything they've given an idol. So, but instead of injecting knowledge into the minds of the ignorant, you're glorifying what the ignorance believe. If I see you believing something, I glorify it bigger than life, then you will obviously fall a prey to it, isn't it? So he's actually giving in to the demand. And they are actually, it's like a demand and supply going on. Nobody's trying to break the supply chain and say what is being supplied is not right. I need to inject the right knowledge into the system. That is not happening. And nobody dares to do that, because it needs extraordinary conviction. It takes extraordinary conviction for me to say what I'm saying now, because I will not get followers. I will not get an audience, but I have to speak the truth, because this is what the Sanatana Dharma is saying. If also I start putting a statue of any of these gods and goddesses and start glorifying, I will easily get following, name, fame, everything will come. But none of, in fact, sir, if you may consider this as too strong a concept. The next entire section, sir, he is giving the karma kanda. He's talking of the rituals. Please lend thy ears to the next section, which is section 2, part 1. 13 mantras, sir. He gives 13 mantras. He gives the various rituals a Brahmana performs, because the student was of a karma kanda type. He gives them and he destroys them. He says, you fellows are all mudhas, pramudhas. These are the words he uses. In one verse, he calls mudhas. The next verse, he calls pramudhas, means colossal fools. Now, this should be taught those who are caught up in the rituals. Now, I am not against any of this. Who am I, sir? My job as a guru is to bring out what these shastras are conveying. So today, there's nobody out there who is doing justice to these great texts. They are twisting and torturing
That's true.
for their own convenience. I take a concept, blow it out of proportion and magnify it beyond a point, and that is drawing attention, that's all. But what we are saying, Shiva, sorry, Shivaji is not you, sir, Lord Shiva, we are saying. Lord Shiva, Shivaji still exists. We are talking Lord Shiva is just a symbol of destruction. This Shivaji is not yet reached that destructive state. So please don't reach that state, sir. Being a
He's only
Shivaji,
Nama. He's only Nama.
Nama. Don't show your Rupam to us, huh?
But
So
the
that's
real,
the thing. Yeah, sorry, sir.
yes,
Yeah.
real painful, Guruji, like we compare with the Westerns and we say that they are not having a Sanatana Dharma, they have like no culture, no value system to the certain extent, like as it in India is in a 5,000 years old, what so it has a Vedic Bhumi. We talk about so much of pride and the foundations, what we have it. But I think we are more faster getting deteriorated than the West who doesn't have a foundation. If you really look at this, the way we are getting diverted to the unknown domain with the minds preaching, going to the very wildly everywhere. I think the deterioration is much faster than anywhere because everywhere you come across, hardly you come across where who are sincere towards uplifting or even preaching or practice, forgetting about the practicing, talking about it. For the title, it is a Sanatana Dharma. It's only in the title. But absolutely the adharma in every aspect of it.
No, as I said, there is no pun intended in anything that we are saying. But as long as the knowledge element or the knowledge quotient is absent, it becomes a mere shell, an empty shell. It doesn't convey anything greater unless and until the knowledge is injected. And that is seriously absent in all the practices that's happening. So we are holding on to the outer shells of religion. The essential aspect of religion is this wisdom, is the philosophical content, which the Shastra, and what we are getting at is directly to the essence.
Yeah.
Unadulterated in its purest form, but it's being outside, it's completely adulterated.
But
no knowledge at all.
We love to have an organic food, Guruji, but when it comes to the organic Sanatana Dharma, we don't again get into that.
Not ready for it. People, they're no takers. Sadly, no takers. It will take time. But what will live longer, the fact that Sanatana Dharma live longer, it'll still live, it doesn't need me, it doesn't need you, it doesn't need any of the wisdom foundation to let it survive. It will survive. It has seen in its worst times in history. It has got enough substance in itself to stand. The only religion that only ism, or not even religion, religion, sorry. The only dharma which has stood the test of time is Sanatana Dharma. It will not die. All we can do is make some noise so people can stand up and take note. But Sanatana Dharma doesn't need me, nor you, nor anybody. It didn't need any Mahatma in its life. Every Mahatma in his life came, whether it could be Ramana Maharshi or Ramatirtha or Ramakrishna Paramahamsa or Vivekananda or any great, it could be Adi Shankaracharya or Ramanujacharya or Madhvacharya. Any of these acharyas came, but Sanatana Dharma did not need them.
Yes.
Sanatana Dharma existed before them. These great masters only elucidated in a language at their time. If Adi Shankaracharya wrote some bhashyas, he spoke in a language which was meant, it was palatable to people in his era. But the truths existed before the great Adi Shankaracharya came, isn't it?
That's true.
We may give credit to the great works of Adi Shankara, certainly, no doubt. But Sanatana Dharma, one of the statements in Vedanta says that its truth is its authority. In fact, you all will get certain questions in the retreat to examine and understand this. It said in Vedanta, Vedanta doesn't depend upon the authority of any prophet. Its truth is its authority. So the truth in what the Sanatana Dharma is saying is authority. It doesn't need any Mahatma or a Guru to say it. So the focus is on the essential teachings, which is absent, sir. Okay.
Thanks a lot, Guruji, for the clarity.
Right. Thank you, sir. Yeah, Vijayji. Okay.
I have a few doubts about the relevance and applicability of this intellectual approach to Sanatana Dharma and the role of bhakti, pure faith, within quotes, foolish faith, whatever. I think if I start now, it won't end now. Can we take it up next?
Please,
I have genuine doubts because this is a famous question everywhere. But
right.
Okay, put it in a nutshell. I think they both have their places, and it depends on the individual. That's anyway. I can raise this doubt.
Please, we can you can start the next satsang with the question, so we can take it up from there, sir. Okay.
It's not directly connected to whatever we have been talking until now.
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Thanks for this.
We will come back. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.